Alrighty, right. Let's talk about what we ended up with after Speedweek. Got the squish nice and snug on this one, huh? Whee! You know, I set the squish at 1% of stroke, which works out pretty well. I've run it at 22 thousandths, and I start seeing at a high RPM, I start seeing the head just touch the piston, or the piston just touch the head. Would make more sense to say it that way. So we had a little bit of an issue, nothing major, but learning on these new pistons. Now, if you look at these, let me bring this over closer. Okay, you got to put the machine, because we got to make money here. But anyway, you can see we seized. Now, if you look at it, it seized uniform all the way around, which makes me happy. I don't have four-corner seizures. I mean, that's awesome. But if you notice, it seized on the top half. The bottom of the skirt is all nice and smooth. I always seize at the bottom. So let me explain to you why this is in a minute. Okay, so this is the piston that didn't seize. It came out absolutely perfect, in my opinion. I've got a nice wear pattern. I don't know if you can see this through the camera, but it has a nice wear pattern all the way around. I usually get a big thunk here from that intake port, and it's pretty nicely evenly distributed around, so it looks good. Looks like on that one bridge right there we might have had a start of a little bit of material transfer, but nothing serious. And then there's a little wear pattern right here, so maybe I need to change the taper just a little bit and then angle back, but otherwise it looks just awesome. It looks really good. Dome looks good. So usually I get more of a figure 8 here, you know, because of transfers and transfers, but it still looks good. I'm still happy with it. One other thing that I'm concerned about with the way these two pistons come together is, you know, this is a bearing surface on the ring, and if you look at it, I don't know if you can see that very well, but it's exactly what I want. It's perfect. It's got a beautiful, like, lapped finish all the way around. It's super. All right. Quick post Speedweek 2019 update. Bike ran beautiful. The salt was just useless. They delayed. We got out there Saturday. We're supposed to start running Saturday. They delayed until Tuesday morning to start letting vehicles run, and it was a mushy mess. So, I mean, there were tow trucks stuck in this, honestly, probably they should have called the event, but whatever. I got one run in. I'm grateful to get the run in because I learned some stuff. As I showed previously in the video, the top of the piston seized. I got it. Normally what I like to do is I like to leave the line dead cold, and by the time I'm finished with my run, which is say 3 miles, I only want to be at like 140, 150. This is Fahrenheit. You're gonna have to convert that for you metric people. But I was probably pushing 170. So I think what happened is after I filled the coolant system, I should have refilled right before I made the run. My guess is probably we caught an air bubble or something. Not a big deal. It's not a huge amount, but I'm giving up power and whatever. But it seized at the final end of that run when it was hot. So what it tells me is, and what I did is I used the same dimensions, the same amount of taper from the base of the skirt to the top dome of the piston as I used on the previous piston, which has less mass than this, because if you remember, the pin boss and the dome are one piece, and on the other one they were two separate pieces, so there was less material, And I think what it did is that when it got hotter, it expanded just that little bit more. All exactly what we're trying to do and trying to figure out, and I'm super glad I made that run, because then I was able to get that. And so we'll make some more pistons. I'll put a little bit more taper, just a couple of thou. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal, because I'll try, I'm going to try and keep the engine cooler anyway. But it worked out, I think, exceedingly well, even though it was not even worth coming back and putting the bike back together and trying again. There's a group of us motorcyclists that all group together, Alp, Racing and Design, and Lowbrow Team, and Max Hazan. We all pit together. Oh, and Brian Thompson. All these guys run Triumphs, mostly Triumphs, not Max, but I'm the oddball out with the two-stroke. But, and then Tyler Molinsky from Lowbrow hit a soft spot on the long course that bent it. He hit it so hard it bent the front rim. And of course he went down, and it was just like all the motorcycle guys were like, this isn't worth really hurting the bikes and ourselves to get a slow run in, because the course was so mushy, nobody could go fast, and we were just spinning. I mean, my rear tire spun nearly the whole way down the course. I mean, if you look at it, the center of it got hot. It was spinning so hard. So it's just not a good year. I'm hoping we're going to be out for World of Speed. I'm hoping, and I'm a little bit leery that we've got such a high water table that the water is pushing up from underneath. So no matter how much we dry on top, we're never going to dry out. I'm hoping that I'm not right on that, and that we'll have nice, hard, dry salt for World of Speed in 2.5 weeks. So anyway, going to get the new pistons made this weekend, back together, bike back together, and ready to go for World of Speed. And let's set some records if we can. So might be a dismal year. We might just be on to next year. One of the reasons that those records on the salt are so cherished, because everybody says, oh yeah, I can go faster than that on my R1 or whatever, and I've heard that forever. It's such a different environment, besides having a high-stressed, high-strung two-stroke running to the very nth of its life, and you're wide open throttle for so long, and it's so hard to get rid of all that heat. And if you can get everything, all the mechanical things right, you still are fighting Mother Nature. You find out that you spend all year long trying to build this cool bike, that you have all these ideas in your head, and you get out and you find out that it's a rained out event. And I really feel I'm lucky, because I'm only an hour and a half away, so I mean, it's not a big deal for me. There are guys come from New Zealand and Australia and England and certainly the Netherlands, and from all over the world. And that's a massive, massive commitment, and I feel bad for those guys. I mean, nobody has any money. I mean, and we're all just broke dick, racers doing the best we can with what we have. So you spend every bit of vacation time you've earned over the year and all of your extra money to come and race, and then it gets rained out. So that's why those records are so difficult and so cherished, and they impress virtually nobody, and you get no money and whatever. But there's a few guys in the world that when you get your name in the book, then you're an alright cat. And really, those are the only guys I care about impressing. I don't care about the rest of the fucking bar fucking braggarts. Doesn't mean shit to me. Okay, anyway, we'll see you next time. Bye.